Hello guys and gals, welcome to the latest episode of Squad Morale Restored. My name is Daniel and today we're going to be looking at the Genestealer Cults, Jackal Alphus. So this is my third video about the, well, it was a fairly recent release, well recent for me anyway, of the Scouty Outrider type troops for the Genestealer Cults. I've already picked up the Ridge Runner and the Atalan Jackals, with the little quad bike, which is awesome. I can't recommend that highly enough. And I've been looking forward to this fella for a little while now. I'm just going to have a look inside and see if we've got the same level of non-staticky goodness. What I'm thinking is I'm hoping that we've got some nice variety as well, although I'm suspecting with it being the alpha, it'll be much more of a monopose kind of fella. So let's have a little look and let's see if we'll be rewarded. And on the back we've got, oh, these are weird. So we've got these little these little sort of counting fence marks, which I'm not sure what they're all about, unless it's supposed to be this guy's kills, but it reminds me of those Doctor Who villains from a few years back, where the characters would sort of mark themselves to show when they'd seen the silence. Silence. Okay, but I suspect this is him doing this tally, taking off his victims. So today's little motto is, or phrase is, the resourceful biker. Oops, there he is. Went out of shot. He is the resourceful biker assassin, or she, but let's say this is the resourceful biker assassin. Trying to work out how to get it. The bigger boxes are easier to get into than the smaller boxes, I must admit. Okay, so this one. Alright, so the little tab on this guy has got falling bullet shells. Am I missing a trick here? Are they actually the bullets that haven't been fired? I'm not very up on ammo and such like, but are these spent cartridges or cartridges have yet to be fired? Not too sure. As always, if you guys know, please leave a comment in the comments below. Also, I'd like to thank everyone who has subscribed thus far to my channel. It really gladdens the heart to sort of, I don't know, to sort of, I'm not too sure now. I'm feeling all emotional. But yeah, it's really nice to hear from you guys and to see anyone who thinks the channel's worth a follow or a subscription. It's really nice. Again, we've got the little icon now. That's on the other, the Ridge Runner and the Atalan Jackal box set. Seeing the cartridges on this side makes me think, I wonder if I still have the boxes. I'll have to look to see if I still got the boxes. Whether the other models have different tabs or whether they're both identical. Okay, let's have a look inside. Right, so we've got the chevron pattern, which is now fairly familiar to me. Is that the same on this? Or yep, we've got the chevron pattern here as well. Okay, so one thing GW does really well is making the packing sort of attractive, and little thoughtful touches sort of make it elevated from run-of-the-mill kind of miniatures. So what have we got? What have we got here? Right, so put that to one side. We've got a little booklet, a very little booklet, which is mainly taken up with blurb of varying languages. And the actual instructions, assembly instructions, are only 2 pages, or 2 sides. Which is what you'd sort of expect. Oh, so this is actually more of a clam pack type design. It's a bit excessive with the old. Hold on. You fiend. Right, so. Okay. So this is more like something you could have in a clam pack rather than all of this fanciness. I'm not entirely sure why we need so much plastic. Is this recyclable? I'm not trying to change it into a kind of a political statement, but I know some of the local recycling facilities don't take black plastic because they use optical cameras to assess what it is. And black packaging doesn't always show up very well. I think our local facility takes black plastic now. Didn't used to. Anyway, so we've got a typical biker base, and if we have a quick look at the frame, there's quite a lot of good stuff on this, or quite a lot of components. Right. So first of all, we notice the wheel is pretty much identical. I think it is identical to the standard bikers. We've got, let's check the other side of it. Okay. Whoops. I'm trying to get motion sickness. All right. I do apologize to anyone who's feeling a little bit queasy. If anybody is feeling sick watching my videos, I will hopefully take it as it's motion sickness. Right. Okay. So again, we've got really nice bike parts. I can tell I'm not a biker. So the old engine and fuel tank, and transmission and what have you. Love the depth. I'm a big fan on depth on the figures. Because it's so much more like realism than just like thin lines, but it's a bit like on some of the, not the Age of Sigmar, but well, some of them, somewhere like the Lizard Men and some of the beasties that have scales. If the scales just look as if they've been thinly scored on rather than nice chunky panels or plates, it just sort of takes me out of the suspension of disbelief. Excuse the bronzy paint on my thumb. It seems to be there. It seems to have been there a little while now. Just can't get the stuff shifted. Okay, so this guy's armed with basically it's their version of the sniper rifle. That is an impressive sight, and it has an impressive sight attached to the top of it. Boom, boom. Yeah, I like the hold on it. Not too sure how realistic is this actually going to be mounted, because I have a feeling in the design. Hang on, let's have a look. In the picture, is that actually sort of mounted onto the top of the bike? Is it held with anything? Or is he just resting it? Because if he's just resting it on the handlebars, that's a little bit not realistic, maybe, so I would venture to suggest. Doesn't look like he cares, mind, but never mind. Yeah, so look at the front part with the headlights. Yep, nice crisp detail there. He's got his own little jerry can, which is kind of handy. And I like all the detail they've put on the handlebars as well, from the sort of the grips to the pedals, the squeaky, what you call them, handle, oh dear me, handle thingies, handles. God, if any of you guys know anything about bikes or motorbikes, please stop cringing. I do apologise. I just can't help my total ignorance on the matter. Although I do remember in a Red Dwarf episode how Arnold Rimmer was still managed to accelerate the bike and he didn't have his hand on the accelerator. Well, I'm totally digressing. Again, 2019. I mean, all these sort of speedy, scouty outriders were released around about the same time, within either on the same day or within a couple of weeks of each other. It's just taken me this long to actually go and take the plunge, as it were. As I've been quite happy with my sort of lurking around in the dark, kind of Space Hulky-esque cult army. One thing I do like about the fluff for these is that it's not, when they say sort of scouts or outriders, you might think it's that run at the head of an army, checking out the land that's in front of them and what's about. But I think the fluff for these guys is they sort of go out in order to find other locations where the humans or other peoples are on the planet. So they're more like an advance party looking for fresh meat or fresh people to consume into the cult. Okay. So this guy doesn't seem to have much variation in terms of what options you can take. He's basically a guy, a very good guy, very special guy, on a bike with a nice sniper rifle. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this guy performs on the battlefield. I think he has some kind of a buff, like a -1 to hit if people target other bikers in his vicinity. I may be totally wrong with that. If that's true, that'd be a very useful little ability. Let's try and have a close look at this pack on his back. If I can get that in focus, that'll be terrific. Yeah, so he's got like a little field telephone, like wireless type thing. Loads of crispy goodness. Well, crisp, detailed goodness. I think it's about the time of year, because we're in end of November now. It's the time of year where GW starts saying, New Year, new army. And for me, I'm quite happy with sticking with this army and sort of branching out into a more mobile Genestealer army. Okay. Do you guys have any plans for any new armies? I'd be always interested to hear if any of you guys want to do Genestealer Cults as well. At the moment, I use 2 or 3 different armies. Generally, it's either these or the Blood Angels, occasionally Imperial Guard, and I do have a soft spot for the Adeptus Mechanicus. I'm not sure yet whether to take the plunge with the Sisters of Battle yet. They've got some really good models as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out on, I think it's the Warhammer Open Day soon. Might not be the Open Day, it might be just some kind of unveiling day. Although it might be, I think it actually is some kind of an open day in Nottingham. Anyway, getting back to this has been the sort of unboxing and review of the Jackal Alphus. What a guy. I'm looking forward to using this guy in my army and also getting painted up. Well, hopefully painted. His first appearance might be as a hideously unpainted grey fella. I'm sure my opponent won't mind too much. Anyhow, so until next time, guys, please leave a like if you think it's likeable material, and subscribe for future videos, and click the little notification doohickey as well. I keep saying a lot as well. I'm totally in total ramble mode, so very sorry, guys. Until next time, you take care of yourselves and happy hobbying. Bye for now.